So, introduction to Japanese language. Some basic know-how about Japan. Now, Japan is an island country. It's an archipelago. It is surrounded by Sea of Japan, Pacific Ocean. So, in the eastern part of the world, you can see Japan is located. And the main islands of Japan, the country of Japan has main islands, namely Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, Kyushu. If you have book and pen in hand, you can simply make these notes. You can write in a short form about the country. So country, it's an island country and it mainly comprises of 4 islands, that is Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, Kyushu. If you have heard about the Fukushima plant or maybe Tokyo, Osaka, so most of these cities are located in Honshu Island. Honshu is the biggest island out of all 4 of these. Other than that, there are thousands of islands, 3,000 plus islands in the southern part of Japan. So they are very smaller ones as compared to Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, Kyushu. So this is the geographical position of Japan. Just a moment. You can say population of the country is this much. It's 127 million, or roughly you can say 130 million is the population. And as you know, currently Japan is facing the problem of lower manpower. This is because it has a lower population. So there is always a lower manpower in all the sectors, almost all the sectors in Japan. So this is why it is seeking help from other countries and mainly from India. So there is, as per Big Mac Index, Japanese worker gets the maximum per hour salary in the world. If you are a management student, you must be knowing about certain management techniques, like there was Kaizen. So Kaizen is a very famous management techniques. Other than that, there is the Toyota way, there is JIT Kanban. So these management techniques, the Japanese people have mostly innovated them. And it is the world's most densely populated nation, as more than 80% land is unfit for human settlement. So mostly it is covered with forests, mountains, and hence whatever the land area is available for habitation. So in habitation, that is 20% of the land. So you can say that it is the most densely populated nation. If you compare it with the US, the population of Tokyo alone is more than that of New York. We'll go ahead. This is a picture of Himeji Castle. There you can see on the right side. Now, if I say about the prefectures, now in India, how we have states, union territories, Japan has prefectures. Here you can see Hokkaido. On the northernmost region, you can see Hokkaido, mostly covered with snow. There you come down, you can see this bigger island. So this whole island is called Honshu. So in Honshu, you have the Sendai region, the regions where most of the people are located. Most of the companies are there. Tokyo, Yokohama, Nagoya, Osaka, Kanazawa. So the main hub, that is Honshu. Then we have, this is Shikoku, and last is Kyushu. Japanese, in Japan, they have 47 prefectures. Like we have union territories, we have states, they have 47 prefectures. Prefectures as in the land that is divided, land and word. So that is prefectures, and there are 47 in all. And every prefecture has its own identity. They have their own flag. Every prefecture has that own identity. something about the pictures, the culture, the dance. So I needed to tell you about the exam. After learning Japanese, students, professionals, they need to give an exam called JLPT, if you are aware of it, Japanese Language Proficiency Test. There is one more exam called NAT. So I will come to that as well. So JLPT, this is conducted by Japan Foundation, by Japan government, and it is conducted in July and December every year. So from 2010 onwards, it has been conducted twice a year. Earlier, it was just once a year. And with the help of this exam, you can measure your proficiency like you give other exams, other foreign language exams. So similar to that, JLPT is the Japan government exam which measures your proficiency in the language, and thereby you can seek jobs on the basis of this JLPT certificate. From this year, the test will be conducted in 5 different levels. So this year itself, it is old. So now it is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 is the basic most level that you're going to do. Then coming upwards, N4 little harder, N3 harder than that. So the level of difficulty increases as you go on the upper side. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So each level has certain criteria such as number of class hours completed, number of kanji characters, grammar patterns, etc. For example, if you're giving N5, for N5 you have the prescribed kanjis are 110. I'll come to kanjis as well. What are kanjis? So you have to learn around 110 kanjis. There are 46 letters in hiragana, 46 in katakana. That also I would be explaining in detail. And the grammar patterns, of course. So as and when the level increases, you would be increasing your grammar patterns. So it is mostly preferable for engineers because as bilinguals, they are being absorbed by the companies if they have a good JLPT score, if they have a certification, not even a score. If they have an N5 certification, N4 certification, they are quickly absorbed by the companies. This is a Japanese obento. Obento is a lunch box. Not all obentos are like this, but this is a kind of decorations they do. Now coming to NAT exam, Nihongo Aptitude Test. This has been introduced 3 to 4 years ago, 2013, I think. And it is a collaboration. It is collaboration between Senmon Kyoiku in Japan. This is a private organization and Sinhagar Technical Education Society. Now they have signed an MOU wherein they conduct this exam. It's a private exam, but that doesn't matter mostly, even it's a private exam. So held every alternate month, that is, if you give the first attempt in June, then August, then October. So like this, in the whole year, you have options of giving this exam 6 times. The certificate holds validation in major companies of India and Japan. It is slowly gaining momentum. As it is a new exam, it is a private exam. Earlier, it was not much known to the companies and to the students, but now we can see ourselves that the students have this option of giving NAT exam, so they quickly switch to NAT exam if that is the nearest exam. So they don't wait for JLPT exam to come and then to give. So NAT is a good option for us. Syllabus is same as JLPT. So whatever syllabus we are going to cover for JLPT, that is, we have 3 papers. We have to give 3 papers in JLPT exam. It's Mojigoi, that is vocabulary. You have to give the vocabulary paper, word meanings, that is kanji meanings, vice versa. Meanings of the sentences. So that is vocabulary paper. Number 2, there is a grammar and passage reading paper. And number 3, it's a listening paper of 30 minutes. So into listening paper, you have to listen to the CD and as per the questions arise. There are 4 parts in that. So As per the questions come, you have to quickly mark the points. There is nothing subjective. It's an all objective exam. So MCQs. Both the exams have this pattern. Now I'm coming to the Japanese language script. Please note it down. There are 3 scripts in Japanese language. So we are going to write it as well today. Being a demo class, we are going to write some part of it. So firstly, there is hiragana. I hope everybody is writing. They are making notes. Hiragana. This is a basic script. Hiragana consists of 46 characters, 46 alphabets. There are certain combinations as well, as we have in Asian languages, in Hindi, Marathi, we have a lot of combinations. So I will be telling about that in the next class. It will be a burden to listen to all of them today itself. But yes, there are combination characters as well. Like you say Zodakshare, Zodakshare. So it is like that. So hiragana is a native Japanese language script. Native as in whatever words the Japanese people already had in their dictionary, in their vocabulary list. For example, if I say I want to say a book, I want to say a book. So book is called hon, H-O-N, hon. So this hon I would be writing in hiragana because the word already exists with Japanese people. If I want to say a mobile phone, the word is there, that is ketai. Mobile is called ketai. So these words I would be writing in hiragana script. Very, very important, essential script. Coming to the next one, katakana. Katakana is the foreign language script. Mainly usage is for IT people because IT terminologies all are new. Automation, simulation. So these many words have newly been introduced through the Western countries, and hence we have to write them in katakana. Like for example, we all are foreigners to Japanese people. We are foreigners, so foreign words. Our names will be written in katakana. I hope I am clear to all of you. All right. So here we are on katakana. It is a foreign language script. If you just want to make a note, katakana, it is a foreign language script to write words of foreign origin. You can say a bus, a taxi, a computer. These all are foreign words. Japanese people don't have these words in their dictionary. So taxi will be takushi. You say computer, they don't have that word computer. It will be computa. Very similar sound to that of English language. So katakana madhe, it will be computa. So it also includes a lot of hyphens, a lot of rules. Katakana चे काही rules आहेत वेगळे, so that you have to learn and then you have to start writing.
Tension.
Okay. Now coming to kanji. After you have crossed hiragana, katakana, and all the combination letters, etc., etc., hiragana, katakana, then last is kanji. Now kanji, as you say, they are basically originated from China. These are Chinese scripts. They are pictorial scripts or pictographs. So in short, they are pictures that depict a particular word. If I want to say a mountain, mountain is called Yama. It is the shape of a mountain itself. So that is Yama. If a river, I want to say a river, the river actually looks like 3 lines going down. So that is a kanji. It's all pictures and it's interesting to learn. Only thing is that there are many kanjis, many kanjis. So you would be learning them level wise. And as it is written there, phonetics is important. So the sounds are important. If the sound is spelled or pronounced wrongly, it can create another impact or the word can go wrong. And L sound is not there. Like we say L in English alphabet L. So if I want to say a girl's name Lena, so Lena would be Rina. It will not be Lena because we cannot say L. It's absent in Japanese language. And the language is very polite, very respectful. So when dealing with Japanese people, you have to take special care that you maintain your politeness, you maintain your level of respect. So as per that, you have to use your language. I'm going to teach you a few aisatsu today. I hope till now you have made certain notes, and please take a fresh page and we can start with aisatsu. So everybody please write down aisatsu. Ai is meeting. When you're meeting somebody, satsu, what you say, what you greet. Okay. And after we have done with this, I would require you all to participate. I would be asking you. So there are these many participants, and I would be asking you one by one, what are the meanings of these words just now we learned? Okay, so the first word, please write down haji mema shite. If you remove this oblique, then also it's fine. You can simply say haji mema shite. So the first word you have to write today, that is hajime mashite. Hajime mashite. So what I did over here, shite, instead of saying it shite, I said shite. Shite. So hajime mashite. When do we say hajime mashite? I am meeting you all for the first time. So this is, I should say to all of you, hajime mashite. In turn, you all would say to me, hajime mashite. I hope it's clear. So hello. Hajime mashite means hello, but only for the first time. Tomorrow again you're meeting the same person, it won't be hajime mashite, it would be something else. I'm coming to that something else as well. So I hope this is clear. Hajime mashite, hello, meeting somebody for the first time. It is a bit formal. Obviously, you're meeting for the first time, it has to be formal. Number two, konnichiwa. You must be well aware of this word. Most of the times it's heard somewhere or the other. Konnichiwa. You have to compress. Konnichiwa. Don't say konnichiwa. No, it's not plain. It's konnichiwa. So NN. KONN. So there you have to say konnichiwa. That means good day. Hello. So I'm meeting somebody at maybe 1:30. I'm saying konnichiwa. Hello. How are you? How do you do? Good day. Good day when you meet, not when you depart. So when you meet, you say konnichiwa. So later we would be writing this in hiragana. So please make a note of all of these aisatsu. Clear? Coming to the point 3, that is Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo. Pay attention, there is Ohayo. There is U at the end. It's very important. When you start writing hiragana, you would come to know that this U is very, very important. You have to prolong. If you don't prolong, it means something else. So that is why you have to take care when writing hiragana. So Ohayo gozaimasu. It will not be masu. Do not say masu. It is masu. So Ohayo gozaimasu. You can remove the obliques. At certain times, students get confused with such long words. Hence, I have made the obliques in between. So you can cut them and you can say them properly. Ohayo gozaimasu. So that is Ohayo gozaimasu. At a stretch, Ohayo gozaimasu. Hayo, hayai. The word hayai means early. So it is very early. Gozaimasu is that we say in English is ahe. Sakal ahe, laukar ahe. So that is Ohayo gozaimasu. It is early. So obviously in early morning, we greet with Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning. Coming to the next point. Kumbawa. Do not say konbanwa. It will not be konbanwa. It will be kombawa. Because we have a letter called anuswar. Like in Marathi, you have aha. Ahacha ahe to, so that is kom. It has turned into kom baum. It will not be ban, it will be baum. So baua, kom baua. Good evening. Again, ban means evening. So this evening is good. So there is this logic behind that. So this evening is good. Hence we wishing good evening. Konbanwa. Coming to the next word. After konbanwa, there is arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. That is thank you. Gozaimasu again, it means is. So I'm thanking somebody. Arigato is thanking you. So arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. So there are different variations. If you're saying it to your boss, you're saying it to your teacher, you can say domo arigato gozaimasu. You just add domo because domo will make it little politer. At a polite side, domo arigato gozaimasu. If you're talking to your friend, okay, thanks. So it can just be arigato. It can just be arigato, just like we say thanks and thank you. So there is this difference. You can cut short the words if you have an informal relation with the listener. Arigato gozaimasu and arigato. Coming to the next word, ie do itashimashite. Ie do itashimashite. I-I-E. The first word is I-I-E. Ie, that is no. No, mention not. Welcome. When somebody says thank you, somebody says arigato to you, you have to say in return, ie do itashimashite. Ie do itashimashite. It will not be mashite, it will be mashite. So wherever you can see shite, its I is silent, so it will be mashite. Ie do itashimashite. Next word, o yasumi nasai. So at night time, it is the resting time, resting. That is yasumi. The word yasumi means to have, to take rest. Yasumi is to take rest. So please rest. That is the meaning. O yasumi nasai. Nasai is again one part of, it's a part of grammar, that is please. When a senior says to a junior, please rest, please take rest, you are advising. So that is nasai. Oh, yasumi nasai. But that doesn't matter. You can say oh yasumi nasai to anybody, your senior as well. Junior can say to a senior as well, oh yasumi nasai. This again you can cut short. If you're talking to your friend, you can just say oh yasumi. Just oh yasumi. That is good night. Oh yasumi nasai or oh yasumi. Next word, sumimasen. Suppose I'm walking on the road, I'm asking somebody how to go about. I want to go to the university. How shall I go? Excuse me, sir. So, excuse me. That is sumimasen. Can you please guide me the road? So, sumimasen. Sumimasen. That is quite simpler. It's very short as compared to the other words. So, sumimasen. That's it. Next, the last word is shitsure shimasu. Shitsure shimasu. U is silent. So shimasu will not be there. It will be shimasu. Shitsure shimasu. Shitsure shimasu. Excuse me. Now this excuse me means when I'm entering into the classroom, I'm asking my teacher, ma'am, can I come in? Can I come in? So that is sensei. Shitsure shimasu. Okay. If I am disappearing from somewhere in a crowd, we are talking all of us together, my phone suddenly rings and I have to go out. So I would say to all of you, shitsure shimasu, and then I would leave from there. Is it okay? So we'll go ahead. This was about the greetings. I would be asking you at the end. So please revise them for some time, and we'll go ahead with this. So here there is katakana. I would be teaching you katakana today. Sorry, hiragana. So here some questions for you all. Aisatsu, questions based on Aisatsu. Anybody who would be interested in giving the answers, you can unmute yourself and you can give me the answer. Okay. Anybody who wants to say, what do we say to good morning? What do we say to good morning? If you have just paid attention and made notes with you, anybody, what do we say to good morning? No one?
I think this is the first lecture, so they are not well prepared. Some Shashank Verma and Harsh has been quoted in chat box. Hajime Mashite. Wahai
Yes,
yogo gozaimasu.
yes, sir. He has joined. I have informed him to join, sir. All right.
Better you can talk. All the students are requested.
You can unmute yourself, students. Unmute yourself, and any questions you have. Tayaba is raising her hand. Yes, Tayaba. Okay, you have just typed here Ohio gozaimasu. Okay, great. All right. They are all typing the answers. Great. All right. So I guess we will go ahead then. We'll go ahead. So I'm just putting on a video of hiragana. Please take a fresh page of your book. We are starting with hiragana today. So firstly, I'll just show you a script, and if you want this script, I would share it in the chat box. Give me a moment. So it is hiragana table. It's a PDF. I've just sent it on the chat box. Please download that. I'll share it as well because I need to explain you certain points of hiragana. And then we would start writing it. So here we are. This is the main script. So after the greetings, we are starting with the main script wherein most of the Japanese is this hiragana. So if you open your textbooks, you would see all of this. Very, very important. Like when you are in pre-primary schools, ABCD, the way ABCD is important for us is the same. Hiragana is important for us as Japanese language students. So here you can see on the topmost part, there is, you can refer to this. This is A, this is I, U, E, O. Now, how to spell this? Take help of Marathi and you can write them in Marathi. So the first horizontal line, that is a vowels. These are Japanese vowels. So these are A. You can write in Marathi A. This is A. Number 2, E. Number 3, U. Number 4, A. Number 5, O. So here it is, the vowels A, E, U, A, O. Very simple. A, E, U, A, O. So same as English, the vowels are the same. Now we'll come down. Now you can see the letter K on the left side. Now these are all consonants. Firstly, there were vowels, swara. Now consonants, vyanjan. Now first letter is we have ka. Now like in Marathi and Hindi, we have bara khadi. Japanese people have paanch khadi. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the paanch khadi that we are going to learn. So coming to the first consonant, that is ka. Instead of ka, they say kha. They say kha. There is a lot of h in between. Kha, ki, ku, ke, ko. So first ka, instead of being ka, it is ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. So same sounds of I, U, A, O would be continued. The same paanch khadi would be continued for this consonant. It is kaki, ku, ke, ko. It is kaki, ku, ke, ko. So after K series, there is S series. You can call this a series. Series of K sounds, that is kaki, ku, ke, ko. Series of S sounds, S series, that is sa. So firstly it is sa. Next, she. They don't have C, they have she. So sa, and then we have she. Here you have su, se, so. I would repeat it. Sa, she, su, se, so. So after ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, we have sa, she, su, se, so. After sa series, we are having ta. They do not have ta. They have ta. So they will say ta. Not ta. They will say ta. So first is ta. Again the a line. So again you have to go through the a, e, u, a, o pronunciation. That is ta. Only here it is different. It will not be ti. They don't have ti. Instead of ti there is chi. So this shape like a 5. It is chi. So ta, then you have chi. Next, tsu. It will not be tu, it will be tsu. So these are different, chi and su. So ta, chi, tsu. Next you have te. And last, to. So ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. We'll go ahead. I will tell you how to pronounce this as well. Okay, so akasata. We have completed akasata. Now coming to na. Na is na, ni, nu, ne, no. So just concentrate on this consonant, this N, and you have to go through the A, I, U, A, O series. That is na, ni, nu, ne, no. Coming next, ha. So there is now ha series. So first would be, anybody? You can unmute your mics. What this pronunciation would be? H series, the first letter would be, it will be ha. Next, he, who. Now this is who as well as foo. This you can see like 4 lines, 4 commas, or you can see shape of a Ganesha. So here you can see it's fu to ka hu. You call it fu, you call it hu. So ha, he, hu, fu, he, ho. So ha, he, hu, he, ho. Again the same pronunciations. Next is the M series, that is first would be ma. Next, me, mu, me, mo. So it is ma, me, mu, me, mo. After that, coming to the next one, that is, you can see the ya series. Now Ya series has only 3 letters, that is first Ya. They do not have Yi. Yi is not there. So when you want to say something Y-I-E, so it will go directly to the topmost part, that is E. There will be E. So Ya, then you have the U pronunciation, that is U. After Ya there is U. And last is Yo. Ya, you, yo. It will be Ya, you, yo. It will not be Ya, Yi, you, Ye, yo. They don't have Ye, they don't have Yi. So it will be Ya, you, yo. After Y series, we have R series. So it would be very simple. Again, put the I, U, A, O sounds in R, that is Ra, Ri, Ru, Re, Ro. So it will be Ra, Ri, Ru, Re, Ro. Going ahead with the last consonant, that is Wa. The Wa series, and Wa series has only 2. So it will be Wa and O. This, when you write, you can write as Wo, W-O, but when you spell, it will be O. So very similar to the first O that we did. So this is also spelled as O, and the last one is also spelled as O. But there are certain different points when learning this. This is a particle. This O is a particle. We don't know what is a particle as of now. It's a parts of speech. Grammar चा एक भाग आहे. So that is O. And the earlier one O we did, that is used mostly in the words. So these are points of differentiation. So you won't get confused that whether to write that O or this O. This won't happen. And last is Un or At times it is Un, at times it is When I say Kombawa, I said that it was Kombawa. And when I want to say Nihon, Nihon is Japan. Nihon. I don't say Nihon, it is Nihon. So at times Un, at times So all the script we are going to concentrate on it. So now I would be sharing a video wherein a native Japanese is writing the script. Give me a moment. So everybody ready to write the script. Okay, before that, I need to explain you how to spell these hiragana. Okay, you have to know them by heart. What is the way of remembering them? Don't go horizontally, go vertically. Now you can see the screen again. So firstly, you could see A. First was A. Second was Ka. So like this, we'll go vertically, A, Ka. Then down, Sa. Then again down, Ta. Na. Ha. Ma. Ya. Ra. Wa. So this is the dictionary words. When you open a dictionary, there is a jiten called Kokugo Jiten. Kokugo Jiten, foreign words dictionary. So Kokugo Jiten. Words dictionary, not foreign words, but words dictionary. So it has this, like as in English dictionary, you have first A. So whatever words are from A, they will be under A. Then there will be B. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, S, that is the format of our dictionary. But their format is Akasatana, Hamayara, Va, An. Hence you need to know this vertical line. So it is A, Ka, Sa, Ta, Na. Coming down, Ha, Ma, Ya, Ra, Va. And last, you take this Un. Un should be at the left, but now you take it it is all the right. So we will consider un as well. Un is different from va series. So we would say it again, just like I'm saying, Akasatana Hamayarava An. Okay, so total 11 letters, just learn them. Akasatana Hamayarava An. So the same order will be continued in katakana. In future, when you refer the dictionaries, you would go according to this order. If I open the A column, I would see all the words related from A till O. So A, E, U, A, O. These all words will be there in the section A. Then if I open Ka, so Ka, there will be Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko. All the words that start with these 5 letters of Ka series. So hence, Akasatana Hamayarava An. Again, I would say A, Ka, Sa, Ta, Na, Ha, Ma, Ya, Ra, Va, An. Akasatana Hamayarava An. If you want to write it in plain English. Akasatana Hamayarava An. Anybody who can give me an answer? If I ask this vertical script, can anybody say that? Simple. Akasatana Hamayarava An. Anybody?
Just mute yourself and then talk.
Okay, it's a demo class, so I expect you to participate, students. Okay, we are learning a language, so language needs speaking. If you don't speak, you won't be able to learn a language, right?
Exactly.
Akhilesh, what about you? Would you be able to say that? Akhilesh. Okay, good try. Shashank has unmuted himself. Shashank, would you try?
Akasatana Hamayarava
Okay, great. All right. So all are ready. We would start the script. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So you are now seeing the screen wherein the Japanese person is writing the script. We are starting with A series today. So A series, that is A, E, U, A, O. So I'll play this and I would be stopping in between.
Ma'am, start with the presentation mode.
Presentation mode.
At the bottom.
Right.
Okay, you want me to?
Yes,
Okay.
slideshow, yes.
Yes, yes. So this is A. Now the stroke order plays very important part in this. You could see that the stroke order was starting from the sleeping line first. We Indians normally don't have this kind of writing practice. We write the standing line first and then we write the sleeping line, but it is vice versa. Mostly when writing the scripts, it is seen that it is somewhere vice versa. I mean, not like our writing practice. So we have to get acquainted with their writing practice. That is sleeping line first, then the standing line. And you can see that it is not a standing line exactly. It is curved. When it is coming down, it is kind of curved while coming down. So standing line, and then you can see the round shape made. Okay. Again, I'll put it on. Now what you have to do in your books, first, when you're writing A, E, U, A, O, First, write the entire A. On the right side, write the stroke order. First the sleeping line, next the standing line, and then the round. Give me a moment. I will play it again. What has happened? Somebody's sleeping line, standing line, and then the round. So I hope you all are writing it. Yes. Have you all written A?
Yeah.
If you have a pencil, it's better. Better write it with a pencil at an elementary level. Do not write kanjis, hiragana, katakana, all of these scripts with a pen, because you're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to go wrong because it's the starting. You better try using pencils in the initial stage. So I hope you have written that. Ah, so after writing that, leave 2 lines, practice it today. So when we would be meeting for the next class, I would ask you, okay? At least I would ask you. I would not know how you're writing, but yes, make a practice of it. I'll go back again. I'll put A again. That is. So that is A. This is the next letter, E. It's the next letter, E. Okay. Now in hiragana A, when you want to say A, you cannot say O. Okay? O is not there. Arimas. Arimas is ahe. Marathitla ahe. So when you want to say arimas, it will be arimas. It will not be arimas. So A is not there. There will always be A sounds. A sounds are absent. Next, now coming to E. Now there are 2 simple lines. One is a line with a hook on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you have a normal line curved. So this is E. Once again I'll play E. So that was A. Now we have E. I hope you have written 2 strokes, just 2 strokes, E. This is U. It will not be U, it will be U. I'll go a little slow. Again, I'm starting with E. Now going to A. Oh, I'm sorry, it's U. So now you could see in U also they had written let me see. Now you could see that the top part was written first. Okay? We would mostly try writing this part first and then the upper part, but it is upside down. It is not like that in Japanese. So earlier, first you have to put this comma-like structure, and then you have to put the next one. So that is U. So A, E, U. So this is first stroke, and this is second stroke. Do not go wrong. You should follow the correct stroke order. I would also tell you one app that you can download and where you can see all of these hiraganas. There is an app called Jisho, Jsho. Some of them know, some of them don't know. So you can see in the Play Store, there is an app called Jsho, Jisho. That means a dictionary. So you can easily find out these in Kana table. Kana table as in hiragana and katakana. So when you click onto the Kana table on the right hand side of this app, you can see they make the drawings of each and every character. Then you can draw them correctly. So the stroke order would be correct. Okay, going to the next one now. So it will be starting from okay. So U, so A, E, U. Then you have A. Now A again would be from top to bottom. A, top to bottom. So again they made this stroke first, and then this is a H-like structure. So A, that is A. So A, E, U, A. Try writing it 2 strokes, just 2 strokes, top and then the bottom one. So that makes A. And last, coming to, I'm sorry, I'll just take it a little further. Now you have O. So here we make O. I'll put this again. Okay, so this is a native Japanese person who is making it. So that is why you can see all the accuracy in the letters he is writing. Initially, at our initial stage, there might be problems writing it very correctly. But if you make practice around half the page of each letter, you could reach this. Okay, being a foreigner, we will obviously make mistakes while writing in the initial stage, but slowly and gradually, when you practice, you will be able to write them properly. So that was O. Do you want me to put it again? It's little difficult, so I guess I will put it up again. So that is O. So I guess you all have understood. We have done vowels today. A, E, U, A, O. I want you to write them at least for 1 line, 2 line, if not half page. Ideally, I recommend students to write for 1 page or half page, 1 letter. So once they are through with it, they won't go wrong in writing the script, because later on what happens, later on you come to know that your stroke order is wrong, or your letter is not properly written. So in order to avoid these mistakes, start practicing hiragana itself, because this habit would be continued to kanjis also. It reflects in the kanjis. So I would suggest everybody to write A, E, U, A, O, all of these today. So I guess that's enough for today. So that's your homework. The script A, E, U, A, O, and the Aisatsu that we did today. Certain Aisatsu, greetings. Please learn these greetings. So in the next demo class, I would be asking them to you again. So